Hello. We are back in Leyden. This is episode 2 of the series going over the Raffle Lioness Directory, and we will be covering the first 4 months of 2014 today, January through April. This should be a much shorter video than the last one, unless I have a lot to say at the end. Just a reminder, like it says on the wiki, the appearance data until 2018 may not be correct. With that out of the way, let's begin. We start off this episode on January 3rd, 2014. This lioness had a cream darker base with white skin, hetero blue and green eyes, and a thick black mane. She has no background, pose, or mutation. Her markings were, from 1 through 10, cream soft unders at 63%, dark brown rogue at 72%, under white 2 at 27%, golden coat at 35%, spotting heavy at 22%, dim black at 55%, black gradient 1 at 80%, cream strokes at 62%, golden tips at 53%, and missing slot 10. Our second lioness today has a slate base with black skin, white eyes, and a Transvaal black mane type. She has no pose, mutation, or background. She only has 6 markings, which are white soft unders at 56%, lilac rogue at 63%, black panther at 55%, black back at 52%, white tips at 26%, vitiligo 2 at 17%, and missing the last 4 slots. On January 17th, a lady with a light cream base, white skin, blue eyes, and a sideburn black mane was released. She has no background, pose, or mutation. She only has 7 markings, which are leg stripes at 88%, dim black at 100%, black rogue at 48%, darkened black at 46%, leg stripes at 78%, black panther at 45%, cream strokes at 25%, and missing the last 3. Our fourth lioness today has the first 10 markings of this episode. She also has a cocoa base with tan skin, hetero blue and brown eyes, and a Transvaal onyx mane. She has no background, pose, or mutation. Her markings, from 1 through 10, are darken onyx at 30%, brown paws at 100%, white underfelt at 100%, dark brown shell at 50%, onyx paws at 80%, cream rims at 60%, golden sable at 50%, onyx panther at 95%, onyx low flow at 100%, and onyx ends at 50%. The last lion of January, released on the 31st, has a white base with white skin, white eyes, and a Barbary white mane. She has no background, pose, or mutation. She has 7 markings, which are dim onyx at 78%, onyx coat at 55%, dorsal black at 100%, black tail at 67%, spotting heavy at 52%, black back hair at 86%, vitiligo 2 at 22%, and missing the last 3 slots. The first lioness of February, and number 6 today, has an onyx base with black skin, hetero green and blue eyes, and a sideburn gray mane. She has no background, pose, or mutation. She has 9 out of 10 slots, which are white rims at 100%, white underfelt at 80%, dim black at 100%, vitiligo 3 at 100%, vitiligo 1 at 40%, white tips at 100%, black beard at 30%, black ends at 90%, onyx flow at 100%, and missing slot 10. February 14th, 2014, gave us this lady with a fiery base with burnt skin, white eyes, and a normal gray mane. She has no background, pose, or mutation. She has 7 slots as follows: onyx pelage at 100%, onyx coat at 60%, onyx cover at 30%, white cover at 60%, dim onyx at 100%, dim onyx at 100%, gold panther at 40%, white underfelt at 70%, and missing the last 3 slots. Both February 21st and 28th had no lioness, so our 8th lioness today is this Maltese lady. With black skin, blue eyes, and a heavy gray mane. She has no background, pose, or mutation. She has 8 slots as follows: white belly at 64%, lilac rogue at 87%, lilac pelage at 77%, maroon coat at 98%, white beard at 25%, black dorsal line at 52%, white tiptoe at 32%, leg stripes at 40%, and missing the last 2 slots. March 14th, 2014, gave us this mahogany lioness with red skin, white eyes, and a scarce white mane. She has no background, pose, or mutation. She also has 8 markings as follows: white underfelt at 98%, white ventnor at 100%, onyx gradient 2 at 24%, black low flow at 23%, onyx paws at 52%, gold panther at 60%, black sable at 56%, white undercover at 23%, and missing the last 2 slots. On March 21st, we received a lioness with a maroon base, pink skin, pink eyes, and a heavy vandal mane. She has no background, pose, or mutation. She has 8 slots filled as follows: white belly at 48%, under white 3 at 50%, black shoulders at 26%, white venter at 75%, spotting heavy at 33%, black back hair at 38%, white cover at 28%, black panther at 31%, and missing the last 2 slots. Our March 28th lioness and 11th today has a gray base, tan skin, gray eyes, and a sideburn onyx mane. She has no background, pose, or mutation. She has 8 slots out of 10 as well, which are white cover at 53%, maroon coat at 85%, onyx back at 92%, black panther at 64%, white half at 50%, White undercover at 42%, under white 3 at 83%, onyx paws at 81%, and missing the last two slots. The first lioness of April, on the 4th, has a brown base, brown skin, hetero blue and brown eyes, and a razor onyx mane. She has no background pose or mutation. She has 8 slots as follows: brown cover at 86%, white undercover at 90%, onyx shell at 94%, black tail at 87%, darkened onyx at 52%, white tips at 96%, white strokes at 38%, white rims at 12%, and missing the last 2 slots. The April 11th lioness has a light golden base, red skin, green eyes, and a normal Zivar mane. She has no background pose or mutation. She has 7 slots as follows: white undercover at 49%, white cover at 36%, white undershine at 53%, white half at 42%, white underfelt at 41%, gold panther at 84%, vitiligo 3 at 52%, and missing the last 3 slots. Our 14th lioness today has a Maltese base with black skin, white eyes, and a Transvaal mane type. She has no background pose or mutation. She also has 7 slots as follows: white belly at 26%, white cover at 32%, maroon shell at 58%, onyx ends at 30%, under white 1 at 84%, white collar at 68%, vitiligo 1 at 82%, and missing the last 3 slots. April 25th, 2014, gave us our 15th and final lioness for today. This prune-based lady with burnt skin, green eyes, and a Barbary mahogany mane. She has no background pose or mutation. She has 8 markings as follows: white half at 29%, white undershine at 53%, vitiligo 2 at 21%, dim lilac at 20%, brown cover at 25%, white cover at 38%, spotting light at 49%, under white 2 at 40%, and missing the last 2 slots. Well, those were our Raffle Lionesses today, guys. What do you think? They are mostly along the same lines as the 2013 Lionesses, which makes sense with the exception of the lovely April 11th Golden Lion, who is my favorite from this episode. Again, for the most part, because they were generally similar to the 2013 Lions, I did find them somewhat boring. I do need to check if the March 21st Lioness is the same as a lioness in the previous episode, because she's reminding me very much of her. Let's see. Where's March 20th? Hello, mouse. Are you going to work? March 21st Lioness. And then the lioness that I think is reminding me of the one in 2013, October 4th, I put down. 2013, let's go. October 4th, come on mouse, work with me here. October 4th, oh, okay, so yeah, they're pretty similar. I don't think they're the same though. This one has much more white than the 2014 one. So that's the October 4th one. We'll go back to the March 21st. That's the 7th, or is the 21st? There it is. Yeah, okay, they're not the same. She was my favorite last episode, that's right. That's probably why I remember. Anyway, not exactly the same. But you see what I mean? Similar enough, anyway. I will say, I think this group of lions is slightly more dynamic in the way the markings move through their bodies, if that makes any sense to you. But they are still fairly plain in comparison to the lions put out today, which, again, I think I made this point in last episode. It makes sense, considering how many markings and colors we have now. But anyway, next video, we will be continuing the 2014 Raffle Lionesses, starting in May and ending in August. I will attempt to put it out next week, not next month, again, but we shall find that out together. See you later, y'all. Have a good day.